You're looking live at Weinright CFB College Football Edition Christmas Extravaganza. All right, that's as much Macho Man as I can do tonight. I'm going to wear the glasses in honor of Macho Man. Jude's got the handlebar mustache going in honor of the Hulkster. But we're going to roll into where we ended last week. We said we'd give you a Tuesday Christmas edition. Merry Christmas, Jude. How are you doing today?
Oh, very well, thank you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Hunter. How are you, bud?
Doing good, Merry. Been marrying and Christmasing.
Yeah. Well, we got, a couple shows left in the season. Why don't we get started? Hunter's going to lead the way with the deal today. He's going to lead the show. I'm wearing glasses that I can't see not a damn thing out of. So, where did we end off last time? Monday, December 29th at, I don't know.
So, yeah.
J-Lab Birmingham. It's the Birmingham Bowl versus Georgia Southern and App State.
Yep. It's at Protective Stadium in Birmingham, Alabama. This is a rivalry of some level between Georgia Southern and App State. Line is Georgia Southern by 7.5 and over under 59.5. Kind of some knowledge going into it. A bunch of teams opted out of bowl games that were 5 and 7. Eventually, it came to App State, who was very excited to take the bowl game. So I give a hand off to them for being excited to play in postseason games that make FBS college football special.
I'm going to go with Georgia Southern on this one. I'm picking Georgia Southern.
Jude, who are you feeling in the?
I don't know.
Jude, who are you feeling in the J-Lab Birmingham Bowl?
Yeah, I'm going to go Georgia Southern.
I will go with the Eagles as well. So App State, congratulations on the Birmingham Bowl win and a 6-7 season. All right.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Since Lindsay's not here, he gets every one of my picks. So at least I can't lose to Lindsay. But it's likely that we're not going to be able. I haven't won shit. Like, I think I'm 1 in whatever bowl games so far. So I ain't won nothing.
All right. Tuesday, December 30th, 2025. In the just greatest stadium on earth, the Independence Stadium in Shreveport, Louisiana, the Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl between Coastal Carolina, who doesn't have a coach, and have a current head coach. They'll have a future head coach, and Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. The line for this is Louisiana Tech minus 9.5 and over under 50.5 points. So they're looking at Louisiana to score a lot here. Or Louisiana Tech, I should say, to score a lot here.
I'm gonna go La Tech. We don't want no cats. What dogs? What's dogs? We don't know cats.
That was a Coastal's coach.
Coastal was bad with Gene Chizik 3.0. Not Gene Chizik 3.0. Manny D. I don't know. Anyways, he was terrible. Tim Beck was awful at Texas. He wasn't any damn good at Coastal, so they got rid of him. They're probably better, but Sonny Cumbie somehow finds a way to continue to keep a job at La Tech. La Tech big in this one. Whatever the spread is, you can double it and add 3, and that's probably what La Tech's going to win by.
What about you, Jude? How do you feel between the Chanticleers and the Bulldogs?
I'm going to go La Tech as well. What's the other team's nickname?
Hey, you're kind of in a fishbowl, Jude.
Oh,
your volume's kind of funky.
Sorry.
Hey, Winston, if he'd ever show up,
Better?
Oh, yeah.
Pat Paulson says I have to return these shades to Winston Cave. And, I got to go find what bridge he's living under right now off of 35. And then I'm going to give him this and, some cigarettes and a little bottle of Fireball. Merry Christmas from Wide Right CFB to Winston. What do you think about that one, Pat?
Fireball?
Well, you get the little bottles at the convenience store. It's not really whiskey in it. It's whatever liquor.
It's schnapps. It's candied schnapps.
Yeah, I saw a YouTube video on that, how how they pretend to be whiskey, but they're not really whiskey.
Yeah, it's not really when you get it from a gas station. Well, at least here in Texas, when you get it from a gas station, it's not. Oh man, if I got anything to do with it, he'll be on probation still. These here glasses and some Fireball, he'll be hanging in there, if you know what I mean.
All right, yeah.
All right, so Jude,
earlier,
back to
Jude.
Yeah.
I think he was asking about the Coastal's mascots, the Chanticleers.
Oh, Chanticleers. Yeah, what is a Chanticleer?
Look at the chicken, isn't it? It's a cock? Where's Lindsay at?
Oh, well, that's who Lindsay's taking.
I'm going to mark it down
definitely
for
going
Lindsay.
with the cock.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
If that son of a bitch beats us, I'm going to be mad.
All right. So you're taking the Bulldogs, Jude?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got. Oh, yeah. Dude, you take. Yeah, Jude's going Lontech. All right.
I'm going to go with the Bulldogs as well. I spent an entire 2 years talking about how shitty of a coach Sonny Cumbie is, and he still has a job. So it tells you what I know.
He's willing to work for less, I think.
It's got to be that. Plus, this isn't very far for them. I mean, Ruston to Shreveport can't be very far versus.
He's got naked pictures
Myrtle
of somebody.
Beach, South
That's
Carolina.
All I
I don't think there's anything you want to see. I can't think that the population there in Ruston's very attractive. But anyway, all right. On that same day, later in the day at 4:30 p.m., in Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee, which is a factory of sadness, we have the Tennessee Volunteers taking on the Illinois Fighting Illini in the Liberty Mutual Music City Bowl. The line has Tennessee -2 or 20. I can't really tell. So it's favoring Tennessee, and the over/under is 61.5. So expecting a lot of points in this one. We'll go to Jude first. Who do you take in this one?
I'm going to roll with the Illini because the Illini are I mean, if you can beat the Trojans of USC, you got to be a fantastic team, right? So I'm going to go with Fighting Illini.
All right, Dad. Who do you think is going to win this one?
Damn it, Bobby! I'm gonna go with Bobby Hill and the old Rocky Top there.
Yeah, well, I think something like Tennessee's like 3 straight losses in the Music City Bowl, so I'm going to roll with the Illini in this one.
Yeah, I know how to pick them. So whatever I pick, y'all shouldn't pick because I can almost promise you, I might set a record of how many losses in a bowl season.
Is that like
does that pay anything?
Like for stocks, people call it the inverse Kramer, where like everything that the Kramer guy says on TV, you buy the opposite of in stocks. Just had the inverse cast. Everything you pick, he makes you make the opposite pick.
I mean, I'm just shit rotten awful. I wouldn't trust anything I say. I'm going with Rocky Top.
Right,
Jude's Lindsay's going with Rocky Top.
All right, so in the to follow this up, in the Valero Alamo Bowl, we have the number 16 USC Trojan taking on the unranked TCU Horned Frogs in the Alamo Dome at 8 p.m. in San Antonio, Texas. USC is favored by 4.5 points. Your over-under's 55.5. TCU doesn't have a quarterback. They don't have an offensive coordinator. USC is just acting like an NFL team, saying they've re-signed all their players because apparently that's just the kind of world college football's in these days.
Wow.
So we'll get Jude's thoughts second. We'll go with yours first, Dad, just to give Jude more time to talk about his beloved Trojans.
Man, the Alamo Bowl is a shootout game. It's always a big, high-scoring game, and it's going to be a high-scoring game this time as well. But it's going to be USC scoring all the points. I don't know what TCU is going to score, but it ain't going to be much. This is going to look like the national championship game between them and Georgia. I'm taking SC by 60.
All right, Jude.
That doesn't strike confidence in Jude's heart right now. He's like, son of a bitch, Cass, take TCU.
All right, Jude, how you feel about your Trojans?
I'm going to roll with them all the way, and I can't believe how small that spread is. I agree with Cass. They are going to smoke them.
4 points. It's going to be 4 touchdowns. Are you kidding me?
they're going to score most of that 58.5 themselves. Take the over, take USC, and they're going to win despite Lincoln Riley, not because of Lincoln Riley, because Lincoln Riley needs to go. That guy is, I am so over him, so done with him. After we beat UCLA, when they're interviewing him on the sideline, she's like, "Oh man, this was a great season, man. I see great things ahead for USC." Oh man, are you kidding me? Oh, this was a great season. You got smoked by Notre Dame. You know, you choked a fourth quarter lead away again, just like last year, some against Illinois. Oregon, you hung tough for about a quarter and a half, and then I mean, even though the score wasn't as bad as it looked, you still. You know what? I'm picking USC. USC.
I'll say in Lincoln Riley's defense, the team looked tougher this year. They didn't lose to Michigan in what could have been a tough game. They are going to bring back Jade Maava. They've got an explosive offense. The defense is getting better. We'll see how that all shakes out. But I mean, this is one of those like line chaser games that if you're like one of those betting sharps, you see that 4.5, and you're like, yeah, I'll take USC 4.5 right now. I'll bet large on that. They're going to crush TCU.
Ask Jeremiah Love if that interior defensive line is getting better. Didn't he have like 600 yards against us?
You can't win them all. It's just where they're at right now. But they have retained their best players outside Mekhi Lemon, who's going to the NFL. But can't really fault him for that Blitnikoff Award season.
First team All-American this year, I think. If I'm correct.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. But Lincoln Riley also in non-CFP games is something like 5-0. So hard to pick against him in these type of games. It's winning the games he does. It's winning the games that he needs to.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna take the Trojans as well. I just don't really have a lot of faith in TCU saying their best quarterback and offensive coordinator. But I guess we'll see. But yeah, Trojans this one. All right, Wednesday, December 31st. 20 and 25, the very last day of it. So the very last time you have to subject yourself to Iowa football in the ReliaQuest Bowl against Vanderbilt at 11 a.m. in the Ray J in Tampa, Florida. Vanderbilt is favored by how much I can't see. The over-under is, I don't know, not really in a question. It is the choice between... Oh. It's like Dad dropped out. Yeah. All right, well, we have the Iowa Hawkeyes taking on, or the number 23 Iowa Hawkeyes take on the number 14 Vanderbilt Commodores. How are you feeling on this one, Jude?
I think this is going to be a pretty good game. Iowa's defense, just like they are every single year, man, it's a tough out for people. It's going to be tough for Vanderbilt to put points on the board. But Iowa's offense, just like every year, it's a tough out for themselves. You know, it's tough for them to put their own points on the board. Yeah. So I think I look for this game to be a 24-21 game, something like that. But
all right, I'm back.
Ultimately, as much as I'd like to roll with Vanderbilt, I think I'm going to go ahead and go with the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick there. Yeah, for Vanderbilt, I'm kind of just looking at them. I see that number 14 ranking, and I see I don't know, all the noise around Diego Pavia and his whole thing. I wasn't a huge fan of how he reacted to the quote unquote Heisman snub. Like, obviously, you just weren't the better player this year, and lucky to even being given a trip to New York, which I don't think he should have gone to because I don't think he was a Heisman caliber player. Beating nobody and getting trounced by the two best teams you played kind of means that you aren't very good, but whatever. But yeah, I think that I don't know. It's hard to pick this game because Vandy's gonna have all their players pretty much. Iowa as well. But I think I'll roll with Kirk Ferentz in this one. It's one of those games where I think that there's too much noise and emotion on one side for over basically nothing. And on the other side is just Iowa. Just the same quiet, stoic operation that's been for the last 23 years. What about you, Dad? How are you feeling in the ReliaQuest Bowl between the 23rd ranked Hawkeyes and the 14th ranked Commodores?
Well, I picked Vanderbilt earlier in the last week. I'm going to stick with Vanderbilt. It's kind of one of those things. If Vanderbilt wins, then I win the. I get the pick right. But if they lose, it'll be nice watching the Kirk Ferentz defense go and kick the shit out of Diego Pavia, and he kind of get his mouth shut. But if he wins, then I'll give him his just deserves. But
All right. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, at 1 p.m. in the Sun Bowl on CBS, which is a very rare occurrence, the CBS bowl game, in El Paso, Texas. Both teams are cursed with having the duties of having to travel to El Paso in the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. This game will not be great. It will be probably shit because the city it's in is shit. In between the Arizona State Sun Devils and the Duke Blue Devils. So we do a devil off in the Sun Bowl, which actually feels kind of fitting.
this is actually one of my favorite games. I really the Sun Bowl is like a bucket list game I want to go watch one of these days. Luckily, it won't be this year. I'm not going to go to El Paso to watch it, but in the future, I do want to go to one of the Sun Bowls because it just, for whatever reason, I think it looks like a cool spot. I would like to go with Arizona State, but Arizona State's missing the most important piece to their pie, and that's Sam Levitt. Duke won the ACC, and their reward for winning the ACC at 8-5 or 9-5, whatever they are, is they get to go play in the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas. I'm going to go ahead and stick with Duke. I'm going to take Duke to win the game. They're going to cover, but I would say take the over.
Dude, how you feeling about the Sun Bowl?
I think it has potential to be a pretty good game. Duke, I think they're a little bit better than what their records show. And they're Arizona State, I think they underachieved just like they do every year. I mean, they've always got high expectations, but just never quite get over that hump. But ultimately, when push comes to shove, I think I'm going to go with a toss-up game for me, but I'm going to go with the Sun Devils, man. Back up my boy Joey Preciado.
There you go. I mean, this one, I want to lean towards Arizona State, but they've lost so much in the portal. Duke's kept a lot of their best players. Darian Mensa will come back. I like Duke in this one.
And the portal should be
shoot.
after the season, man, or after the bowl games. I hate the
It should be in March, but
yes.
But it has to line up with the academic year, which is the dumbest thing ever. That we even still treat college football like it's even related to academics in any sort of way.
I didn't come here to play no school.
But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna take the Blue Devils. I mean, it could be a good game. I have my doubts about this one. I think it's gonna be a Duke and a romp. All right. An hour later on ABC from Camping World Stadium in Orlando, Florida, we're going to find out who's feeling the cheesiest in the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl between the 18th ranked coachless and some other things less Michigan Wolverines taking on the 13th ranked Texas Longhorns. Texas is favored, I think, by 7. The sheet I have just doesn't have it showing. In the lot, and the over-under is somewhere around 46.5 points. Both teams, Texas announced most are opt-outs, so probably a few more as we get closer to this game. Michigan has yet to announce a large majority of their opt-outs. They are missing their 2 starting pass rushers. We'll see if any more people hit the portal. They're with Biff Poggi coaching that squad. We'll go with you first on this one.
I am probably not surprisingly going to roll with the Wolverines in this game. It's very difficult for me to ever be a Longhorn fan, but I think Michigan. Let's see what they do around their interim. Have they named a coach yet?
No, they haven't. I don't know if they even interviewed anyone. They made an offer to Kenny Dillingham of some level, and he turned around and stuck at Arizona State. So I mean, I guess it's cool in a way of the guy staying loyal to a program. In another way, you kind of wonder, like, you're really going to pass I don't know. I can see why a lot of people are passing on Michigan right now. It's just it's a forthcoming dumpster fire of so many issues and everything like that. We'll see how everything kind of shakes out. I don't have a lot of faith in the process there right now, but we'll see.
Yeah. All that, behind us, I guess I'm still going to pick Michigan. just to go against the grain, try to get a game up on you guys.
I don't think you need any help on that one, Jude. I think you're plenty of games up on me.
I'm trying to get.
All right. Well, who are you picking here, Dad?
All right. So with that we cheer for Michigan in this house as well. I think Michigan's got a whole lot more going on than meets the eye. If Biff Poggi's over there campaigning to fix the program, coach. It means there's some other problems going on. Not that he's not a hell of a good coach. He is a hell of a good coach. But the stories surrounding Michigan aren't great. And it sounds like it's probably going to be a lot of people getting shit canned out of that program. But let's cut that aside. Let's go X's and O's and Jimmy's and Joe's. Texas has lost a bunch of guys to the transfer portal and opt out. Some of the defense is going to be new coming into this game. But the guys that are filling in spots, I think, are better than the guys that are leaving in a way. And what I mean by that is, like, with Manny Muhammad leaving, the guy that's stepping up, Cade Phillips, I thought he played exceptionally well when he's in there. And then you have Grayson Littleton, who's been a starter as a true freshman the whole year. You've got Kobe Black's going to play a lot. And then in the defensive secondary, or at the safety position, who's filling in for Michael Taff?
Probably Jordan Johnson-Rubel or Warren Roberson.
Warren Roberson's played well as long as he's not on special teams, which he's always good for a 15-yard penalty every game. I'd look for Michigan to run the ball a lot more. Texas can be a little thin at linebacker position, but we'll get some Brady Sarkisian in the game more than likely. But Texas' offense is going to be on point. This is going to be the difference in the game between Michigan and Texas. Texas will be able to go and move the ball down the field efficiently. They've really gotten a lot better. I think with the addition of Jabbar Jalouk at running backs coach before the bowl game, I think that's going to help out a lot. I think the running backs room was really bad this year. They've also cut a lot of fat at the running back position. I would look for a name. There's a name I'm going to tell y'all. Michael Terry. Michael Terry is going to be a big part of this game. Enjoy Michael Terry. He will be a treat to watch. I'm taking Texas to win, Texas to cover.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Horns in this one. I know they've had more opt-outs currently, but from what you've seen, people who opted out outside of like one or two players, it's kind of been those are guys you kind of expect. Haven't gotten the targets, or they've kind of gotten to a point where it's either kind of, we got guys behind you that are, as talented. It's time for them to get their reps and their turns, and either go to the draft or go to the portal. And in today's college football, if you're not getting the draft grades you want, you might as well hit the portal and try for another year of college football. Symptom of a bigger problem, but we'll get on that to another day. Michigan, all the noise in the background. How many more opt-outs are they going to face? How many less? We'll see. You hear conflicting reports every day. One says all the Michigan players are locked in. They're gonna play for Biff Poggi. The next day you see like 30 guys about to hit the portal and get the hell out of there. So we'll have to find out. I'm gonna roll with the Horns in this one though, just because all things being equal, I'll take what I know versus what I don't with Biff Poggi at Michigan versus with Steve Sarkisian at Texas, and we'll kind of break it down from there. Technically a more talented team on the Horns side by recruiting rankings, which isn't two opponents. Texas Horn superior as well, so we'll see. All right, well, 30 minutes later from Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada, the 15th ranked Utah Utes will be taking on the Nebraska Cornhuskers in the SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl, in another factory of sadness there at Allegiant Stadium. Yeah, I mean, the one team's like their coach is finally retiring, so they can keep their legendary defense coordinator around as the head coach now. The other one is just a big oof in every sort of sense of the word there for Nebraska. Let's go with someone who I know hates Nebraska. Dad.
I don't hate Nebraska, but they are going to get the shit kicked out of them. You know, when I said that USC was going to beat TCU by 60, Utah might actually beat Nebraska by 60. I don't see how Nebraska stays in this game at all. Utah is going to be able to run the ball up and down the field on them. They're going to throw the ball up and down the field on them, and Nebraska has no offense. Doug, if you're watching, I'm sorry, Doug. Nebraska's taking a massive L here. I'm taking Utah. I'm taking the points. Utah may score the over-under on their own. Jude, what do you think?
Utah, 100%, man. I don't think Nebraska stands a chance against them.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same boat. Nebraska looks like it's just a shit show. You're losing Dylan Raiola. You're losing all a bunch of good players, and a bunch of people trying to plug yours and say, no, it's fine. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna do something crazy, and I don't know. I don't see it. I don't know with Nebraska. I know with Utah, they got most of their players. They got Devin Dampier playing. Whittingham's going to coach his final game. They're going to go play hard for probably the greatest coach they've ever had and ever will have, and go win this one for old Kyle Whittingham. So I'm going to take the Utes by all the points. All right. And then finally, to wrap off what should be a great day of college football on a Wednesday, no less, at 6:30 p.m. on ESPN from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, it's the college football playoff quarterfinal, where this was printed a little while ago. So the team playing
number 10,
Ohio
Miami's
State
taking on
should be
Ohio
Miami.
State. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ohio State's
they
favored
have
by
not
9.5.
played since 2011. And the last time these two teams played for something that mattered, it was in the 2002 national championship game, where Maurice Collette single-handedly killed the legend of the U. So I remember some people who actually watched that game and remember it, because I'm sure I watched it, but I was like, who? So maybe 3. Anyway,
almost 4. 3 going.
Was that the game where the running back from Miami blew out his knee? The dude that went to Baltimore.
Willis McGahee.
McGahee, yeah.
It is. It's also a pass interference call that kind of wasn't pass interference, but hey.
Yeah, I'll take it. It was against the U, so I don't care.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jude, since you always like to call Miami frauds, are they going to be frauds in this one? Is the Buckeyes with Julian Sand going to win this one?
They are going to be such frauds. I mean, the Buckeyes are going to destroy him. Like your dad said, this might be maybe not 6, but a 30-point win. They're saying that Miami was so much that head-to-head mattered because they got in because they beat Notre Dame, and then everyone was saying, "Oh, Miami helped Texas A&M to 3 points. Texas A&M scored 43 against Notre Dame. Whoa, that's how much better they are." Yeah, well, you know what else? Miami only scored 10 points, and Notre Dame scored 42 against them. So come on, dude, that's just so ridiculous. Miami is such a fraudulent team. They're going to get smoked, and they're deservedly so get smoked because they took the spot that they did not deserve. Notre Dame should be in this game right now, having a rematch with Texas A&M, and that would have been a phenomenal game. Not with
He's
A&M.
so animated about this. He feels so strong about this. He said he wants fucking Notre Dame in this. Oh man,
I just didn't want Miami
rivalries. All right, well, yeah. I have an opinion that a different team wearing orange should have been in this spot, but that's a story for another day as well. Dad, how do you feel about this shit?
Ryan Day
versus the Buckeyes.
Ryan Day, after a loss, is probably the most dangerous coach in America because that guy will have Ohio State on point. Miami was in a battle against Texas A&M. Now, granted, the wind sucked last Saturday. It was bad. I just don't see Miami having enough to keep up with Ohio State. I mean, defensively, they should do some things. They're going to hold Ohio State down. I would say take the over, but Ohio State doesn't cover the 9.5. It'll be close, but I'm going to go with Ohio State to win. Take the over, but the U covers the line on that one. So I would look for Ohio State to probably be able to do quick passes, but if Sand starts getting hit, then it could slow the gameplay down. This is inside the stadium there at Jerry World in Arlington. Ohio State can run the ball, but it's not super duper great. Miami can run the ball. It's just if their offensive coordinator will call run plays. So, which, that's what iced the game against A&M. I'm going to go with Ohio State, though, to win the game. Take the over. Miami to cover. Ohio State for the win.
Well, I'm going to be a contrarian here and
Whoa!
say Ohio State blows the doors off Miami. Yeah, I mean, you look at Miami and you see it. Well, they should be talented enough to do this. You should be talented, but they just constantly coach themselves out of wins. But I will say, the last time that Mario Cristobal and Ryan Day faced off, Mario Cristobal won. Ohio State is 0-2 inside the Cotton Bowl. So stats to think about. And no Ohio State team has ever no Ohio State has never had back-to-back national champions. So I'm actually kind of torn. Like I say all stats, like, man, I think Ohio State's going to win this. I think they're going to crush them. But then I also you look at their schedule and go, other than early season Texas, which devolved into a team that had a rough showing against UTEP of all squads. That was their best win all season. They lost to Indiana, and Indiana solidly beat them. Even if it was by 3, it was a pretty dominant win, I think, in a lot of ways. You know what? You have to have an upset somewhere on the schedule. Everyone's got to be contrarian once on here. I'm going to go with the U.
Wow.
They're now going to lose by 60. But we'll just see. All right. Thursday, January 1st, 20 and 26. A new year. A new chance to watch more collegiate football. The Oregon Ducks and the Texas Tech Red Raiders in the Capital One Orange Bowl at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida at 11 a.m. Oregon comes off a strong win against James Madison. A lot of people I think are making too many bones about James Madison backdoor covering a team that basically said, we're going to run too high shell and basically just sit here for the rest of the game and let this end and not do anything fancy. While Texas Tech got to blow out BYU and sit on their asses for about a month. Let's go with Dad first.
All right. I'm kind of worried about this matchup because I don't like teams that have been sitting around forever in 3 days. They come in, they're kind of cold, they're kind of stagnant. I didn't like how Oregon played last week. They should have gone and they should have beat James Madison 70-0. Maybe 80-0. But no, they didn't. They went and they Mickey Moused around and they let James Madison score a bunch of points that they didn't need to. And I hate that stuff. And I'm gonna pick Texas Tech, and the only reason I'm picking Texas Tech is because Cam Dickey. I love Cam Dickey. Got a good family, knows parents, they're good people. He's he's probably the greatest high school football player to ever come out of the city of Austin because he led Crockett to the playoffs and won a playoff
if
game.
that's your reasoning, I could buy that actually.
All right. That's my only reason I have right there. The greatest.
They probably won 3 games in the 3 years that he has not been there.
I don't know that 3. I don't know that's been 3. But could Oregon win this game? I mean, I really think Oregon's pass rush. If Texas Tech doesn't run the ball and they sit back and they try to throw the ball, I think Oregon's pass rush will get there. But I'm gonna go with Tech. Somehow they pull this one off. I'll go with Tech to win. But I take the over on this game as well. I think it's going to be a lot of points. So if Oregon gives up the 31, but if you came back to me on Friday and you go, Dad or Cass, Oregon beat Texas Tech 42-17, I wouldn't be shocked. You know what I mean? That could be a realistic score as well. But I'm going to go with Texas.
Owen Kirby 8998 also says Texas Tech for sure.
There you go. We got two of us.
There we go.
That could be 2 L's there.
Welcome to the
that
show.
Could be 2 W's though. Owen Kirby. Thanks for watching. All right, dude. Who are you going with in this one?
Yeah.
I'm going with Texas Tech as well. I mean, I've got 4 or 5.
Are you drinking the Kool-Aid? What the hell is wrong with you?
Dude, I took the Duke, so what am I gonna say?
Oh man.
But no, I'm gonna roll with Texas Tech, man. I think And I'm just going to stick, be honest. It has nothing to do with X's and O's. It has nothing to do with strength of schedules or anything like that, or players on their team. It's just there's a few teams that you guys know I just don't like to pick, and Oregon's one of them.
Yeah,
I don't. And Oregon, I think Texas Tech is a strong team. I don't know what happened when they played Arizona State, man. That was just like a weird evening.
I'll tell you.
Go for it. Tell me, please.
They wear stripes.
Well, I'll let you finish your stuff. I'll let you finish your stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm basically done. I'm going to roll with Texas Tech. I think that they're going to beat Oregon, and I think it's going to be a decent game. Take the over for sure. 100% take the over, and take Texas Tech to what is the spread?
It's not on here because it
1.5. Oregon's favored by 1.5, and over under is 52.5.
But yeah,
so your money line Tech, you're taking them to cover.
Yeah, take the over, and I think Texas Tech's winning outright. So take Texas Tech in the points.
Well, I mean, those are all good points. And going to, I guess, with the analysis here, how Arizona State beat Texas Tech was very simple. They offered Texas Tech between the 20s a heavy box. They put 7 guys in the box with a nickel safety, splitting the difference between the split out wide receivers and the box count, making it where in Texas Tech's offense, they run a veer and shoot offense. And the veer and shoot has a very simple set of rules that certain coaches follow. Some like to flex on. Mac Leftwich likes to follow veer and shoot rules pretty consistently, and he has a very consistent thing about heavy box generates pass plays. And basically how you attack if you have athletic enough outside corners, you can load the box up and basically say, you're going to throw the ball to the guys that we're going to offer you to throw the ball to, and you force them to go on long drives and take up time. Or you go to a light box and say, run the ball as much as you like between the 20s. Once you get inside the red zone, you switch that attack to throw the ball let them only give up outside throws, real long throws, and only go a couple yards downfield, give you a real opportunity to pick the ball off and attack them. That's what Arizona State offered. They kept the game slow. Very few teams have the physical talent to do that. Oregon is one of them. Oregon can choose to attack the veer and shoot in those both those ways, and I think they will. I think that Oregon is extremely talented, and I just don't. And I think that they're better coached. And again, I watched that game. They dominated James Madison for 2.5 quarters, and they basically just said after midway through the third, "All right, cool. We're gonna just stop. We're gonna go in too high shell. We're not gonna run a very complex offense anymore. We're just gonna run the ball and take the time off the clock." Heck, I just don't believe in the coaching of Joe McGuire to go and keep them focused, getting that week off, getting that month off. I don't have a lot of faith in how their team is currently constructed and kind of going forward. Like I said, I think Oregon's going to match up. And what they're going to do, what I would assume the strategy is they're going to let Tech throw the ball between the 20s without letting them get deep. And then once they get inside the 20s, they're going to force them to run the ball with Cam Dickey. They're going to let them run the ball between the 20s, and they're going to force them to throw the ball inside the red zone. Basically, you're not going to let Cam Dickey beat you where he's best, inside the red zone, short yard situations. You basically just force Baron Morton to beat you inside the red zone with tight window throws, which he has not been very good at. And the offense isn't really geared towards performing in. I would know. I watched Texas State last year, and they had the same issues, schematically at least. So I'm going to go with the Oregon Ducks.
I'll tell you this: if
right.
Oregon
At 3 p.m.
if Oregon can't stop the run in the red zone, Cam Dickey will run all. He'll have 4 touchdowns against Oregon. If they can't stop him,
absolutely,
if he gets going, he will truck Oregon like big time.
Yep, absolutely.
If they can't stop him, it will be an ass whooping then. So still going with the Red Raiders.
All right, who's taking on Indiana?
Alabama.
I'm sorry.
Number 9, Alabama.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Indiana's a 6.5-point favorite. Vegas is 48.5 to play the game.
All right. Well, since you got all the juice on it, Dad, what do you think?
Well, I want to ask Jude a question because, man, this place seems like a mythical place. Is the Rose Bowl really as cool as it looks on TV?
Dude, the Rose Bowl is and my USC Trojans play at the Coliseum, but the Rose Bowl is like their second home because they've got so many wins there over UCLA and in the Rose Bowl game itself. But
over Alabama, no less.
the Rose Bowl is a great stadium to watch a football game. I've seen the Rose Bowl. I've seen plenty of USC UCLA games, and I've gone there to. My uncle used to run a church group that he would get tickets donated to him, and we'd go sit in the end zone to watch the UCLA games against whoever they were playing. He just, for every like 6 kids, you needed an adult. So my uncle would ask me to go. I said, sure, I'll go check out some games. Man, it is just a great place to watch a football game.
It's definitely on my bucket list as well. I would say I'd probably like to go to the Rose Bowl before the Sun Bowl, but I'll take what I can get. In this game, I'm going to go with Indiana. It's pretty simple. Indiana's defense is going to just smash Alabama. Alabama's going to struggle defensively stopping Fernando Mendoza rolling side to side. Mendoza's just as lethal rolling left as he is right. Alabama struggles with that. They don't like a mobile quarterback that throws on the run. They like a mobile quarterback that stays running. Gunnar Stockton did real well moving around against Alabama. Alabama's I don't like their defensive secondary. That and Indiana secondary match is going to match up well against everybody but Jeremy Bernard, and he's the only guy that you have to really keep from going off. You let him get his yards, but Alabama can't run the ball. They absolutely cannot run the ball. They couldn't run the ball last week. They lucked out because Oklahoma just kept playing stupid. Alabama won't get away with this one. They'll get beat. And the line is 6.5 points. I think Indiana covers that. I'd also say I think Indiana probably take the over. Indiana's going to smash Alabama in this game. This is going to be a beating right here. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I don't like Ty Simpson. I don't like Ty Simpson under pressure. Ty Simpson under pressure reminds me of Marcel Reed. They just crumble. It's like the field that shrinks to him. Indiana secondary will punish him for doing that, and their pass rush will get to him. Like I said, Alabama cannot run the ball. Indiana's not going to worry about Alabama running the ball. This will be a beating right here. So I'm going Indiana big.
Strongly felt. All right, Jude.
I agree. Indiana. I mean, Alabama's not going to be able to run the ball. They can't run the ball on anybody, let alone Indiana. They're past. They got 3 NFL receivers, lined up on that field at any given time, and they've got a pretty good quarterback. If he can get protection, he can definitely pick Indiana apart. Now, I've been saying since about the time I figured out USC wasn't going to make the college football playoff that Indiana's probably going to win the national championship. I think Alabama is the only team that could possibly put a nail in that tire for them, but I don't think they will. I think it's going to be a lot closer than Cass says. Cass is looking at sounds like a 30-10 type game or something like that. I'm thinking it's going to be a 21-20. Take the under. I would say take Alabama to cover, not necessarily win, but I wouldn't be surprised if they shock the world, but I am going to take Indiana.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with the Hoosiers as well. Like you said earlier in the season, and last year and stuff, I was saying, I was telling people, like, man, don't sleep on Indiana with Kurt Cignetti. He's an excellent coach. He's only proved that more and more. Yeah, and he's only proved it more and more as the moments have gone on. Fernando Mendoza's played great, but I'm not going to really get on X's and O's here because they're schematically very different, right? You have the really advanced level passing schemes of Alabama, but their run scheme is really poor. Their defense is good, but it's not like hyper elite. Indiana's offense is really good, really efficient, very RPO heavy, makes things simple for Fernando Mendoza, who's a very smart quarterback. So when you make things simple for a smart guy, usually end up going pretty well. They can run the ball. They have just absolutely attacking defense who can get after the quarterback and sack him often and early. And you talk about having 3 NFL wide receivers. Well, so does Ohio State. Ohio State might have 7 NFL wide receivers. They have NFL offensive line, NFL quarterback, and they got absolutely taken to school by Indiana for 4 straight quarters. Their defense is full of NFL football players, coordinated by an NFL defensive coordinator, and they got taken to school for 4 quarters. And more than anything else, what I'm going to go with more than anything else, though, is straight physicality. You want to see, well, how did Bama lose to the teams they've lost to? They got out physicaled. When teams are willing to go match Alabama up and say we're tougher than you and we don't think that you can stop us, we're going to force you to run the ball. And no matter what, we don't believe that you can run the ball. And I think that's what Indiana's going to do.
How weird does that sound? Alabama, the reason they lost was because they got out physical and they couldn't run the ball. Nick Saban must look at Kid on the board and just laugh and say, "That's why they're going to build a statue of me, not you."
I don't think Saban laughs at it. I think Saban looks at it and goes, like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
but I mean that's like the whole thing. Like I look at how has every Kid on the board team lost so far since his time at Washington? And you always go, they got out physical. And when teams line up and just say, we don't believe you're tougher than us, we don't believe that you can beat us, we're going to out physical you, they win. I mean, look at Georgia against Alabama the second time. When Kirby had a second chance to look at the game, instead of getting fancy and cute like he did the first time, he just went out and said, we're just going to whoop your ass. We just believe that we're tougher than you. And yeah, sir, Georgia wasn't ahead very big in the first half, but they came out in the second half and put Bama away because that's just all it takes. Is you just go and say, we don't believe you have a higher level of physical toughness than us. We're going to hit your quarterback. We're going to hit him often, and we're going to run the ball, and we're going to beat you up. And the team that leads the nation or leads the Big Ten in sacks is Indiana. They lead the Big Ten in sacks. I think they're going to get after Ty Simpson. They're going to put him on his back a lot. They're going to kill Alabama's passing game. And when you do that, there's nothing left. They're going to sit there too high, get after the quarterback. On the other side, they're going to run an efficient offense. It may not be a blowout. It'll be 20-10 or something low scoring like that. But I think Indiana's going to go out and win this game and set themselves up to play in the Final Four there in the playoffs. So I like the Hoosiers in this one. Not so much X's and O's as much as it is physical toughness, but X's and O's play a role. And if I'm going to pick a superior coach, I'm going with Kurt Cignetti all day, every day. All right, and finally, at 7 p.m., what might be an entertaining game, it might be an ass whooping. We'll just find out. The Ole Miss Rebels take on the number 3 Georgia Bulldogs in the All-State Sugar Bowl at Caesar Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana. All right, Jude, will the dogs be barking, or will whatever the hell Ole Miss does be that?
and Johnny Rev, the Rebels, I'm telling you, they had, now of course they don't have Lane Kiffin, but they had Georgia in that game. They had that lead going into the fourth quarter. I think they were up 8 and got outscored 14-0 or 17-0 in the fourth quarter. I don't know what they did different, and I hope their new coach does. I want to see a Indiana. Is it possible to see Indiana and Ole Miss in the final, or would they play in the semifinals?
I think they played semifinals.
Yeah, I think they play in semifinals.
I want to see that game. I really want to see that game. Georgia is a tough team, man. I mean, I'm just going to roll
They're
with
my
it,
favorite to win it all.
Yeah, I'm just going to roll with it, though. I'm going to stick with them. I know they don't have my
Stick
boy
with Ole
anymore.
Miss?
Lane Train is gone, but I'm going to stick with Ole Miss.
All right, now you're going to roll with the gold mine there at Ole Miss. You're going to roll with Kirby Smart's bull cut and the Bulldogs.
I'm gonna go with Georgia. I watched Ole Miss last week, and I saw a rudderless ship on the field. They won, but they won because they were better talent. They were more talented than Tulane, and they were able to do that. They won't get away with playing like that against Georgia. Georgia will smash them if they do that. Look for a first half score to be close. It's gonna be like 14-7, something like that. Georgia will be up by 7 in the first half, and then in the second half, Georgia will put that separation in there. I don't know that we hit the over in this game, just because, second time around, it's always hard to beat the same team twice. Hardest thing to do in sports, beat the same team twice. I'd say take the under, but I think Georgia covers. I think it'll be like a 7 to 10 point win. Georgia's ability to run the football and control or to keep Trinidad Chambliss inside the tackle box, right? I'm not necessarily saying he's not going to run, but he's going to have to run up the middle against Georgia. That's going to be where they're going to want him to run against those big linebackers. They're not going to let him get the edge like he likes to do. That also limit his ability to throw the ball down the field. He'll be limited on lanes because he won't be able to run outside and throw the ball there, just knock that thing out of the air. I think Trinidad Chambliss will get contained in this one, take Georgia. Georgia's going to really put the pressure on them in the second half. They'll get them down. They'll turn them into one-dimensional team, and they'll be you'll see some turnovers come in there. Like I said, I think not having Lane there is the reason why they don't have a chance.
I was just going to ask, would you give Ole Miss a fighting chance if they had Lane Kiffin?
Oh yeah, if Lane was there, absolutely. I think that he could come up with a game plan that would beat Georgia because he's one of those creative minds that can go and do stuff like that. I'm not saying Pete Golding's not, and I'm not saying Charlie Weiss Jr. is not. I'm saying Lane Kiffin not being there is the reason why Ole Miss has no chance in this. Yeah.
Edge.
Yeah, Lane is a SEC coach, right? A true blue SEC coach. Pete Golding is a SEC coordinator, and there's a difference between the two. Kirby Smart is the SEC coach. He's the SEC coach right now. So till you beat him, it's kind of hard to beat anybody else. So since this is the de facto SEC championship game, I'm gonna go Georgia.
Part 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Georgia in this one. So
yeah.
You think there's a chance we could see Georgia Alabama Part 3?
No, Alabama's gonna get.
I just don't know. Indiana. I don't know that Bama gets past Indiana. But
you guys, this is the time of the year where you have to run the ball. You have to be able to run the ball. Alabama cannot run the football. Every other team that we've talked about on here can run the football. Ohio State can run the football. Miami can run the football. Texas Tech can run the football. Oregon can run the football. Indiana can run the football. Georgia can run the football. Ole Miss, they're not great at running the football. They don't really have that good of weapons. Alabama cannot run the football.
I mean, Ole Miss they have the SEC's second leading rusher in Kawan Lacey, but it's a schematic thing. They're a veer and shoot team. Ole Miss does what is open, right? So if the runs up, same thing with Tech. The veer and shoot is not committed to one type of game plan. It's committed to running as many plays as humanly possible and scoring as fast as you can. That's how the veer and shoot works. It's all there really is. The Briles spread, if you will. I prefer to call it the Briles spread, but for the viewing public, I'll call it the veer and shoot. It is a run the ball until they give me the deep shot, take the deep shot, continue to take what I can when I can get it. That is Ole Miss's offense. That is a lot of offense in college football because it makes a lot of sense. You have to have a quarterback who can at least think through a couple progressions, be on the same page as your wide receivers, take your deep shots, run the ball. Don't get fancy with the run game. Really what you're looking to do is to wire off kill shots and play as fast as possible to give yourself the best chance of a wide receiver springing free. If you like to see a classic of that, look up 2014 Baylor TCU. Anyway, back to this one. I think when it comes to heads up between two head coaches, in my opinion, Kirby Smart's the best head coach in college football right now. I don't think that's really particularly close. We can talk about Ryan Day winning a national title last year and what that does for him. And we can talk about Dabo and what he's done before. But I think in where college football is right now, no coach has a better command of it and his program and has a more elite program than Kirby Smart. I think they're going to win the national title this year. I don't think there's a team in front of them other than maybe Indiana that can beat them. I certainly don't think Ole Miss is going to win the second time without Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin's one of those guys that can get in people's heads. He can really think like other guys and really go he can find those schematic matchups that I don't think Charlie Weiss Jr., Pete Golding can really find like he can. That's why he's the head coach and not just a coordinator. I think Kirby Smart's going to post circles around Pete Golding, and I think this would be a real ass whooping. I think Georgia's still embarrassed from that close game they played against Ole Miss because you saw when they played a close game, that was the last close game they played the rest of the year. They proceeded to beat the shit out of everybody else. And Kirby just straight up every clutch moment was like, I'm just going to go for it. And it's worked. I think this will be a similar situation. They're going to take with a deep shot from Ole Miss. They're also going to just use their hyper athletic linebackers and really crush the run game. I think they're just going to kick Ole Miss's ass straight up and down. It's just going to be a beatdown. The offense isn't going to function properly. It's going to be like a 45-14 ass beating, and Georgia will be sticking their feet up and waiting for Indiana by about the third quarter. But that concludes all of our CFP games. We're going to wrap it up with the last of the bowl games. 4 more to go here on January 2nd, 2026. Starting off with the most important bowl game of the year. Some might say the biggest bowl game ever played in the year of 2026. The most important one between the best team and the worst team. The Rice Owls take on the Texas State Bobcats in the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl at 12 p.m. at A&G Car Stadium in Fort Worth, Texas. I think the Bobcats are favored. The line isn't available right now, but there's only one right choice here. So I'll let Jude try to make the right choice.
I'm gonna pick this game with 3 words that I've heard at the end of every live stream for the last 3 years, I think now. Eat 'em up, cats.
Yes.
Eat 'em up, cats.
All right, Dad, your chance to make the right choice.
All right. So, they have this drink. It's called Canada Dry, right? Drink Canada Dry. Texas State's going to drink Amon G. Carter Stadium Dry. Texas State's favored by 11.5, 59.5 points. Ever since GJ took over the defensive play calling duties, and he's really solidified the team. Brad Jackson is in the top 25 of quarterbacks in the nation. Not in G5. In all of Power 5 football, Brad Jackson's in the top 25 of efficiency in passing, and that look for Brad Jackson to hit his favorite target, Bo Sparks, early and often, and then look for Lincoln Perry to have a really big game today on January 2nd as well. I think Texas State's going to cover that 59, or they're going to cover that 11.5 without a problem. 59.5 isn't going to be a problem. Last time I saw Texas State play Rice in anything, Texas State won 101-0.
Yeah.
All right, Hunter, on to you.
Well, there's only one right choice, and that was the Texas State Bobcats. You got a lot of players coming back, announcing they're coming back. Most importantly, like I said, Brad Jackson, Bo Sparks, Chris Don Jr., the other wide receiver. We had a chance for 2,000-yard wide receivers. The defense has solidified. A lot of the defensive playmakers coming back that aren't seniors. I think it's a team that's really hyped up to go win their 3rd straight bowl game and really cement themselves as a team that overcame a lot of adversity. While maybe it was self-induced, it could have been easy to quit week 9, right? JMU whooped your ass. You're 3-6. You have to win out, or else the season's completely lost. And they did. They lined up and they went and they took every game in front of them. They dominated every game. I think it's going to be a little bit more of that against Rice here in the Armed Forces Bowl. I like Texas State big in this one. I like to put up a lot of points and to really cook the Owls up because cats eat birds and then everybody eats food in Rice there. So give me the Bobcats large. Eat them up. All right. At 3:30 p.m. on ESPN from Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium in Memphis, Tennessee, in the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, the Navy midshipmen take on the Cincinnati Bearcats. Cincinnati will be without starting quarterback Braden Sorsby. He is in the portal. Navy doesn't look like they've lost anybody. Who do you like in this one, Jude?
Navy, man. Cincinnati doesn't have their quarterback. Navy's a great team. I like Navy.
And they played an absolute classic in the Army-Navy game. That was awesome.
What a game that was, man. That was a great game. I love watching that game. We always talk about that every year. We all watch that game. That's one of my favorite games to watch every year.
All right, Dad, how do you feel about this one?
Well, this is the last game for the triplets here. I'm going to call them the triplets, but this is the last game for them. They're going to go out with a bang. They're going to win this game by 3 touchdowns. I'm taking Navy to win big. It's their last chance, and they're gonna make it count because these guys know how to make it count. And Navy's gonna have a good team next year too. Don't sleep on them just because their 3 best players are gonna go off the service after this year. Navy's team will be back next year. They'll be just as good. They got a hell of a great coach. I love Brian Newberry. It was such a good transition from Coach Ken to Brian Newberry. I love Coach Ken. Hell of a good coach. And Newberry brought in Drew Cronick. I love the offense. I love the innovation inside the offense. Team plays well. The defense is kind of comes and goes, but they're going to be there. They've had a couple weeks to rest to get ready to go. They're going to beat Cincinnati. I firmly believe it.
And I think that's one thing you don't have to worry about with a team like Navy. Like our guys can go in the downtime, go get fat, go get lazy. That's just not a thing you're allowed to do at a place like Navy or Army or Air Force. Like you just have to stay locked in the whole time. Just the culture, the life that those guys, and I'm not gonna say we live in a way. You just gotta stay on your toes the whole time. Um, yeah, I like the midshipman big in this one. This is gonna be that going out game for Blake Horvath, Eli Heinreich, and Alex Tesca. They're gonna go and lay it all on the line. Landon Robinson on the defensive side of the ball. They're gonna lay it all on the line, and I think they're gonna take the Bearcats to school. Last time Navy played a Big 12 team in the Liberty Bowl, they beat the life out of them, and then they beat SEC team last year. This is one of the best 2-year runs in Navy history by the numbers, and I think they're gonna cap it off the right way with a big win over Cincinnati. I like Navy. I like Navy by a lot. All right, moving to the at 7 p.m. at Snapdragon Stadium in San Diego, California. It's on Fox, your rare Fox bowl game, a once great bowl game reduced down to this shit. The Trust and Will Holiday Bowl. The number 17 Arizona what the fuck are they? Are Wildcats taking on the SMU Mustangs. Um, let's go. Jude is big on the West Coast type of teams. It's a West Coast bowl game I'd like to go to one day, even though it'll never mean anything. So, how do you feel about this one, Jude?
Yeah, I feel horrible that out of all the teams that they could have possibly picked to play in this game, we got SMU and Arizona. Arizona, I believe they came on pretty strong late in the season, but the Mustangs are gonna run all over them. I think I'll take SMU to beat them by 2 touchdowns. And it is a fun bowl game. Into that bowl game, it is a very fun. Well, it used to be very fun bowl game to watch. Now it feels like the Peach Bowl or something.
All right, Dad. How do you feel about the Holiday Bowl between the Wildcats and the Stangs?
I'm kind of shocked right now. I'm really kind of shocked. I was getting ready because I was like, the Holiday Bowl. I agree with you that it used to seem like it meant something more, and it should mean something more. The Holiday Bowl is a great football game to play.
Yeah,
I thought for certain Jude would go with the West Coast team. Everybody slept on Arizona the whole season. Arizona's the number 17th ranked team in the nation right now, and they're going to beat SMU. They're going to confuse Kevin Jennings. Arizona is tough. They're coached super well. What's his name? The little quarterback. He has played so much better. Yeah, he's played so much better second year under
Brent Brennan.
Brent Brennan. He just looks so much better, and their defense is salty. I really think they're going to give SMU a lot of fits in this game. I don't like SMU in this game. I just think Arizona fits up. This is like one of those styles make matchups. I think they're going to match up well. I don't know that we stay on the under. I think we probably hit the over in this game, but I think Arizona wins, but it's going to be by more than 3. So take Arizona to the cover, and I would just say take the over.
Yeah, and kind of like we're talking about, like the game used to mean something. You've always had the New Year's Six, right? The Cotton, the Fiesta, the Rose Bowl, the Peach Bowl, the Orange Bowl, all that. The New Year's Six bowl games, but right under them was always like the Holiday Bowls. Like, man, if you can't make one of those, like making the Holiday Bowl didn't feel so bad, right? You're like, man, it was a hell of a bowl game to make. It was always between like 2 10-2 teams that just missed out on their conference title games or missed out on like the BCS New Year's Six, and they wouldn't beat the shit out of each other in the Holiday Bowl, and it was always a great game. He's kind of lost that luster, which is a shame. But I like Arizona in this one. We talked about like what it takes to win this at this point in the year. Arizona has a top 10 pass defense, and they have one of the best run games in the Big 12, and I think that'll translate here in this bowl game. They can stop the pass, which SMU relies on pretty heavily, and they can run the ball real well to go and kind of limit possessions for SMU, and let No Fita make some good throws off of play action and kind of a lighter box, or kind of off an easier platform, just because the run game is going to back off those blitzes. I like Arizona in this one as well. All right, the last bowl game of the season, which we wrap up with a coach getting mayonnaise poured on him in the Duke's Mayo Bowl from Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Wake Forest Demon Deacons take on the Mississippi State Bulldogs. What the fuck? Is that real?
Yeah.
Mississippi State makes a bowl game going like 5-7 or 4-8.
7 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to college football. Anyway, the Demon Deacons take on the Mississippi State Bulldogs, and the winning coach. This should be the losing coach that mayonnaise poured on them, not the winning coach. That's a whole other story. So I don't know which coach actually wants to win if you're gonna get fucking mayonnaise poured on them. But let's go with Dad, since I know you hate mayonnaise so much. Let's go first and get this one out of the way.
I don't really like either one of these teams either. I mean, both these teams are shit rotten awful. I don't know who I
Forest
took.
won 8 games, right?
I think I took Mississippi State, but if I took Wake Forest, I'll put it in the comments later.
You don't have anything marked here, so.
Well, I got it saved on my notes. I'll text it to the group here as soon as we get off because I had to transition over to my phone for the live stream. But I'm gonna go with Mississippi State. The only reason I'm going with Mississippi State is because I've seen them play more than one game this year. Wake Forest, I haven't watched it all. I don't know what the record is. I don't even know who's coaching the team anymore. I really hate the Mayonnaise Bowl, though. I mean, I'm glad that they get to play in a bowl game, but I'm going Miss State. We got to hustle up too because I'm running out of phone battery.
Yep, this is our last thing, and then we'll sign out.
Yep.
Jude, how do you feel about the Mayo Bowl? Would you like to have mayonnaise poured on you for winning a game?
I probably like mayonnaise about as much as your dad. Oh no, God no. That would be horrible.
I don't get kicked in the nuts. You know?
I think I'm just gonna go with Mississippi State just because they play in the tougher conference. They play some tougher teams, and I think that should translate on the field as well. So I'll go with the Bull, Mississippi State. Plus Dak, baby, you got to support Dak.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, the defenses and for Dallas isn't supporting Dak, but that's a whole other story. Which has been like the phrase of the night here. I'm going to go with the Bulldogs as well. Inside the Big 12 or inside the SEC, they struggled. Outside the SEC, they've whooped ass. Kamario Taylor gives them an extra edge on offense. I can't wait to watch him play some more football. I'm really excited for that. I'm going to go with the Rebs here, and I'm also going to go with Jeff Levy, probably trying to run away from a Mayo bath. And with that concludes the 2025-2026 bowl season. Can't believe we're already on the end of college football. It just goes by too fast. Best time of the year. We'll wrap up probably again later with the CFP games, the semifinals, and then obviously the national championship on a Monday of all days, which is fucking ridiculous. But people who run college football probably don't love college football. Anyway, that's it for me running the show. Turn it over to Dad here to wrap this one up and get us out of here.
Alrighty. I want to thank everybody for showing up today. We have a bunch of new faces. We had a lot of people watching today too on the counter there. Look for our next show to be on January 8th, but we're going to be recorded. We're not going to be coming to you live. You're going to see the show. It's going to pop up at 8 a.m., so you'll have plenty of time to watch it before the first matchup at 6:30 p.m. from State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. So just look for that on Thursday, January 8th at 8 a.m., a recorded video to pop up. We're going to talk about the Final Four matchup, and then we'll have one more show after that on Thursday before the national championship game, whatever that date is. I think it's going to be like the 15th or something like that. So look for that. We'll have 2 more shows this year, and then that's going to be a wrap until August, which it goes by way too quick. I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank the panelists for being here. Lindsay couldn't make it. That's fine. It's good. I'm not worried about it. It's Christmas time. I'm excited. Christmas is my favorite holiday. I hope it's everybody else's favorite holiday. So I want to wish everybody out there a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we will see you in 2026. Guys, I'll let y'all finish it off, and then we're going to end it up.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Really appreciate you guys all being here. Hope everyone has a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. I like Christmas, but I think if I had to go with my favorite holiday, I'm probably more of a Columbus Day kind of guy. But no. I get to say this today and 2 more times after this. Fight on. We are SC. V is for victory. Can't spell SEC without S and C. Good night, everybody. Fight on.
All right. Yep. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Eat 'em the fuck up, cats.
Good luck.
All right.
Good luck.
All right, guys. With that said, the team that scores the most points always wins the game. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Thanks for watching.
Good night, everyone.